5 Live Breakfast.
Tony Livesey and Clare McDonnell with you this morning. Let's speak to one of the people who wants to be the next UKIP leader now. The final list of candidates is expected to be decided by the party's National Executive Committee today. Liz Jones sits on that committee and wants to be a candidate. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
So you'll be on the list. What qualifies you for that?
What qualifies me for that is that I've been a member in good standing for some considerable time now. My joint running mate, who is my deputy leader, Councillor Lawrence Webb, he's also the leader, UKIP leader of the London Borough of Havering, the council there. Between us, we have contested 33 elections for UKIP. And between us, if you add up our aggregate vote for all the elections we've contested for UKIP, we've garnered about over 100,000 votes for this party. Now, Lawrence joined the party 2001. I joined in 2010. So I would say that we are like the veteran campaigners of this contest. So we've walked the walk. We've worn out our shoe leather, whether it's leopard skin shoes or not. So we have certainly put in the time and effort in our areas. And particularly with my area, which is a Labour stronghold, it's been very tough indeed. So I am fully conversant and fully aware of the sheer amount of hard work it will take UKIP to go to stage 2. We've got over stage 1. We've won Brexit. Stage 2 now is to make the dream a reality and get us a good clutch of UKIP MPs in Westminster.
OK, I said you'll be on the list. That hasn't actually been decided yet, so I have to correct myself there. It's the National Executive Committee who'll decide on that list. Nigel Farage has made some pretty scathing comments about the NEC and the people sitting on it. He's written on Facebook this morning, essentially saying it's the NEC are the problem to radical change of the party. Many of the current crop, he says, are amongst the lowest grade of people I've ever met. To them, being a member of the governing body of Britain's third largest political party is the equivalent of scaling Everest. He says they've got no qualifications in business or politics to make the ultimate decisions of whom should be our candidate at a by-election. He goes on to say, or whether disgraced Tory MP Neil Hamilton, for example, should be given a route back into public life. Obviously, they would all deny all of this if we had them on the programme this morning. But he's saying, I've been a moderniser. I fought every step of the way by total amateurs, he say, who come to London once a month with sandwiches in their rucksacks to attend NEC meetings that normally last 7 hours. He's massively critical of the NEC. They're the people who are making the decision about the shortlist. Does he have a point?
I don't think he has a point at all. And frankly, from the wording of that article, I don't think he prepared that press release at all. It certainly doesn't sound like his phrasing or his wording. I've always enjoyed a very good relationship with Nigel. I've often taken advice from him, bounced ideas off him. And to quote that poor lady in hospital, I personally love Nigel and I would have him as my husband tomorrow. Obviously, I understand he's married. That's just a joke, of course.
But you're saying people are putting statements out on his behalf. They are his words. They're on his Facebook page.
Well, they may be on his Facebook page, but these would be press releases that have been prepared by third parties in order to express a certain opinion. I don't believe that they would have been his direct words. It just doesn't sound like his
OK, well, on his Facebook page, he's criticised the NEC. Is it justified criticism?
I don't think it's a justified criticism. I've been on the NEC now since December 2015, and the NEC comprises 2 barristers. I'm a long-standing family solicitor. I've been practising for about over 20 years now in London, where I'm involved in very sort of complex situations involving jurisdictional issues, high net worth matters. So it's highly complex work we're doing in London. So we've got 2 barristers. I'm a solicitor. We've got one man there who has a PhD in maths from Cambridge University, who is a business angel. He's been extremely successful in business. We have another man we have several people who are extremely successful in business. And every time I've attended the NEC, I've not seen one rucksack, nor have I seen any packs of sandwiches wrapped up in tin foil. So I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. And we too in the NEC have certainly tried to modernise things. Our job is to oversee the finances, internal rule changes, membership numbers, and to progress the party forward. I will want to introduce a slate of reforms for the internal structure of the party and for the NEC. I accept that it does need reform, but it is important to have an independent body there that can impose checks and balances upon the party. Every other national serious party has an NEC. So
we've asked other candidates who've come on the programme about their personal manifestos, because Brexit was the one major policy of UKIP, and that has been achieved. So now it's down to detail, to depth. What would be in your personal manifesto?
My personal manifesto, as I said earlier, will contain a significant attention to the internal reform of the party. That is a must, so that we can accelerate and move forward to success in Westminster. The whole detail of how we change how we attract new members, our funding, the structure for internal democracy is vitally important to ensure that there's flow, so we can move the party forward. Now, in 2015, we had an outstandingly well-prepared and thorough manifesto, which it does seem to have been largely ignored by the mainstream media. I would not seek to deviate significantly from that. I would seek to update that, because clearly now we have the Brexit situation. But my personal manifesto would be on the focus of trade. It is vitally important that our economy is strong. I would be focusing on social mobility. It is vitally important that our youth have the same range of opportunities in this country. For instance, just looking at the world of entertainment now, where are the Richard Burtons? Where are the Anthony Hopkins? My goodness, if you look at a rota of British actors now, it's almost like a copy of Cameron's Cabinet. So it seems to be all the old Etonians getting the best acting jobs. It certainly wasn't like that, let's say, 40 to 50 years ago. I appreciate many people may think that acting is irrelevant, but of course, cinema is an extraordinarily strong propaganda tool.
They might not think it's irrelevant. They might think it's a strange thing to highlight when you're coming on national radio for the first time, talking about the policies that you would implement to change and better the lives of people in this country.
That's an example with regard to social mobility. Of course, we want to bring back grammar schools. Look at the people who came out of the grammar school system. We had the late, great Victoria Wood, Kate Bush, whose birthday I think it was the other day, and of course Margaret Thatcher. And we do have to accept also that we are still in the EU. We need constant pressure. We don't want Brexit light. We don't want soft Brexit. We want out. Our trade has lagged behind significantly because we've been in the EU. We do not want to be hidebound by regulations from Brussels about toasters and bananas. This country, we've always had a history of being buccaneers, merchants, traders. We certainly want to go back to that. We embrace the outgoing spirit of freedom. We want to return jobs to this country. We want our 2 million unemployed to be trained up. We want to train up trawlermen, fishermen, so that can lead to shipbuilding. So it's about taking
control back. We hear you loud and clear. I just have to ask you finally, we're expecting a decision later today on whether Stephen Wolfe, also wanting to stand to be the new leader of UKIP, will be allowed to stand after he missed the deadline to apply. Should he be in or out, in your opinion?
That is not for me to comment upon. We are all candidates for the leadership. It would be inappropriate for me to make any comment. I wish Stephen all the best.
But I know you won't actually be voting on the decision, so you can give us your opinion.
I would not care to express any form of opinion whatsoever. It would be unfair. We've got to have a level playing field with regard to the leadership. As I say, I wish Stephen all the best with this.
What do you think about him missing the deadline then? Can you comment on that?
Well, I can't comment on that because I don't have the facts and I don't...
Well, he missed the deadline, didn't he?
Well, I can't comment about that. If you go on the internet and look at the social media, some people say he did miss the time deadline. Other people say he didn't. I'm sure the vetting panel will have the exact figures and they will come to whatever conclusion they decide to upon reading the full facts, which I may not have access to.
Liz Jones, thank you very much indeed. Liz Jones, who hopes to be on that short list of candidates decided later today by the National Executive Committee of UKIP, who are looking for a new leader. 7:50 now.